When you think about a big legal battle, your mind probably jumps straight to a courtroom, right? You picture a judge, a jury, that classic witness stand. But what if I told you that some of the most decisive moments in a lawsuit happen way before anyone ever sets foot in court? They happen behind closed doors. Today, we're going to pull back that curtain and talk about a super important part of the legal process, the deposition.
So let's set the scene. Imagine you're in a law firm's conference room, sitting around one of those long, polished tables. Yeah, there are lawyers there, but it definitely doesn't have that intimidating courtroom vibe. They might even have coffee and water for you. It all looks and feels like a pretty standard professional meeting. So you're probably thinking, hey, the setting is pretty informal, so the meeting itself must be informal too, right?
Well, let me tell you, that could not be further from the truth. And this is honestly one of the biggest, most common misconceptions people have about the legal system. Because while the whole setting is designed to feel less intense than a courtroom, what's actually happening in that room is anything but a casual chat. The stakes are just as high, and believe me, the consequences are just as real. So, how does that work? How can a meeting in an office carry the same weight as a court proceeding? Well, it's because in a deposition, the formality and the power of the law aren't stuck inside one building. Think of it like this. For the time you're in that deposition, the courtroom has literally come to you. This quote right here, it just hits the nail on the head. Even though they happen outside a courtroom, depositions remain formal legal proceedings, and it gives us the three magic ingredients: sworn testimony, an official recording, and strict rules. Each one of those pieces is absolutely packed with legal significance. To really get this, let's break it down into what I call the 4 pillars of formality. These are the 4 things that take what looks like a simple meeting and turn it into a legally binding event. Let's dig into each one. All right, here they are, the 4 pillars that give a deposition all its power. First up, sworn testimony. This is huge. You take the exact same oath you take in front of a judge, and that means lying is perjury, which is a serious crime. Second, an official record is created. There's a court reporter typing down every single word. There are no do-overs, no takebacks. It's all on the record. Third, it's governed by rules. This isn't some free-for-all conversation. It's a super regulated process, with federal and state laws dictating how everything goes down. And finally, number 4, your words are used as evidence. Everything you say can be read to a jury later on or used to question your story at trial. So what you say in that conference room can absolutely make or break a case. Okay, so we've covered the why it's so formal. Now let's bring it all back to what this really means for you, the person who's actually giving the testimony. This is where it all gets very real, very fast. This right here is the absolute key takeaway. You might be sitting in a comfy office chair instead of a hard wooden witness box, but the legal weight of your words is exactly the same. The law couldn't care less about the furniture. It only cares about the oath that you took. And look, this chart just lays it all out, crystal clear. Are you under oath? Yes, in both. Is it officially recorded? Yes, in both. Can it be used as evidence? You betcha, in both. When you look at the things that actually matter from a legal standpoint, there is just no difference. And all of this leads us to one simple, totally non-negotiable conclusion. If you ever find yourself needing to give a deposition, you have to prepare for it and treat it with the exact same level of seriousness as if you were walking into a courtroom to testify. The rights, the rules, and the potential consequences are identical. So there you have it. We've taken this idea of a casual meeting and shown you the serious legal framework that's really holding it all together. It's not just a chat. It's testimony. And that brings me to one last thing to think about. I'll leave you with this question. Now that you know for sure that a deposition is a formal legal proceeding, if you had to give one tomorrow, what would be the very first question you'd ask your lawyer?